Hi, I'm Marty from Waukesha Floral and Greenhouse, and today we're going to talk about repotting plants. Something to look for when you're looking at a plant, now this is a peace lily, it's a spathiphyllum, is to look for a nice healthy green color in the foliage, first of all. A good radiant look on a plant always kind of spells good health. The other thing you're going to want to look at is, when you pop it out of the pot, is the root system. Now you would think that the roots would be a brown or a black color, but generally speaking, most roots are going to be a tan to a light color, a white or a tan color. And the reason we're popping this out of the pot today is because we want to repot this one. As you can see, it is rather root bound in this pot. Once a plant gets root bound, the roots will just continue around and round and kind of suffocate the root system on the plant. So what we want to do is we want to tease these roots apart, and you're going to say, wow, this looks pretty brutal. But if you just start breaking these roots apart, you are going to do this plant a world of good. And you'll hear some snapping and some breaking. That's all right. You're not hurting the plant. You're actually giving it a new lease on life. And once we repot it, these roots will be immediately going into the brand new soil that we give it. So we've got those roots kind of teased apart here. And the second thing to remember is your soil mix. The soil mix we use here at Waukesha Floral and Greenhouse is actually a soilless mix. It is a mix that contains ground up bark, peat, and the white is a perlite. A perlite is a volcanic rock that will add air to the soil, because that's very important in your soil, is you want an air-water mix. If you don't have that, if you just use soil from outside, it's too heavy and it will compact and your roots can't spread out into that. The other thing to remember is, when you're repotting a plant, go from one pot size to the next. Don't go from a 6-inch pot to a 14-inch pot just because you have that 14-inch pot laying around, because you'll probably kill the plant. What you want to do is you want to go from like a 6-inch pot to maybe a 7-inch pot or an 8-inch pot. By doing that, you're adding more soil, enough for the plant to thrive, and yet not putting too much soil in there that it will create root rot. Because once you get a soil mass wet, if there's no roots in it, there's nothing to take the water away, and you will end up rotting out your plant. So what we want to do is, first of all, put a little bit of soil into the bottom. Now this pot has drainage in it. It has holes in the bottom, so we don't have to worry about putting an extra drainage system in there. Putting your plants in, arranging the roots in there. It's very easy. Anybody can do this. And then just adding back more soil around the edge of the pot. And you want to tuck that soil down in around the roots. Give it a good, firm tamp down. You want to get that soil really in contact with your root structure so that you have a good, positive effect on this plant. And then once you're done with that, you do want to water it through very well and make sure that you're leaching water out through the bottom. That makes everything settle in well. Another thing that's really kind of cool about this is we used an eco planter today. Eco planters are from Waukesha Floral, and they are a biodegradable container that is made from cornstarch, bamboo hulls, and some binders to keep it together. Lasts 3 to 5 years when you direct plant, or if you put a liner into there, it can last indefinitely. So basically, that is how you repot a plant. We put a saucer underneath there to catch our water, and you shall have many happy years to come on this plant.
Waukesha Floral and Greenhouse. Fresh, fun, fabulous.